majority live in sub-Saharan Africa, where neither the people or their governments can afford the medicines that save lives in the West. What sub-Saharan Africa is seeing now gives a glimpse of where other countries may be headed if the epidemic is left unchecked. Most deaths are in adults between the ages of 20 and 40.
What this means is effectively a hollowing out and the development of an orphan generation at one end and a generation of older people who have no one to take care of them at the other end.
It also leaves a country without its primary workforce, leading to a decline in their economies. More than 13 million children have been orphaned because of the disease, a number that is predicted to triple within 10 years. Some say the mix of a declining economy and children without parents is a recipe for political instability.
This may give rise to civil unrest, armed conflict. All that in today's global world means that it will affect ultimately any country in the world.
It's that concern and the rapidly spreading epidemic that is bringing world leaders together at the United Nations. Experts say without treatment, India could be the next Africa. In China, cases have more than doubled in the past 2 years. They double every year in Russia. And the Caribbean has some of the highest HIV rates outside Africa. Recently, the leaders of the United Nations created the Global AIDS Fund to help developing countries. But all agree, money is nothing without the willingness of governments to fight the epidemic.
More to come on Eyewitness News at noon. At least 30,000 people are forced from their homes after a volcano erupts.
They work out more than just their arms for this event.
That looks painful. Now we've had we've had a round of what? Thumb fighting.
I'm a pretty good thumb wrestler.
Yeah,
New Jersey state champ in '87.
You're known far and wide for your thumbs.
Yeah, I'm national. I went pro. Got a sponsor too. Coming up, we've got partly cloudy skies here, but Doppler radar lighting up. Going to show you where some showers are heading, whether or not we get some coming up. Also, some ironic weather history for this day. You've got to stick around to hear that. Right now, though, mold is moderate. The aquifer up almost a foot.
Do you have the next $1 million idea, invention, or perhaps an improvement to an existing product and just don't know how to get started? Do you believe your idea or invention has merit and fulfills a need? Do you think a manufacturer would want to produce and market your product and pay you royalties? If the answer is yes, call the professionals at Universal Consulting Service for your free Inventor's Information Kit. They can help. Call now.
Is someone you love in a nursing home on private pay? I'm Arnold Krause with Senior Information Services in San Antonio, and over the last 8 years, we've helped hundreds of families protect life savings and get the benefits they deserve. Call Senior Information Services today for our free brochure and find out you don't have to spend all your money on nursing home costs. I know we can help. In fact, we guarantee it. Call Senior Information Services today in San Antonio and get your free brochure.
Insurance companies make record profits by convincing injured people to settle for less money than they deserve.
Ferrer, Poirot, and Wansbrough.
After a car accident, you may think you're in good hands with the insurance company. They'll try to convince you that you don't need a lawyer. Without a lawyer, they make more money. With a lawyer, you may get more money. If you've been injured, forget the good hands, get a good lawyer. Call us toll-free, 1-800-529-8585.
Want to see something different? Digital cable from Time Warner's got something for everyone. But not everyone wants to watch the same thing at the same time. Only digital cable lets you watch as many different channels as you want on as many sets as you've got for one low price, including all of your local channels versus the few that satellite systems charge extra for. Digital cable from Time Warner. Welcome to What's Next.
Investigators are looking into what caused an amusement park ride to collapse and injure a dozen people in New York. The swing ride was in motion when the top section of the structure crashed to the ground after its base toppled over. Police say the injuries were minor. The victims ages 3 to 50 were taken to area hospitals. The ride consists of swings attached by metal chains that fly outward as the ride spins faster.
Hundreds of people in southern Peru are homeless and in need of food, warmth, and comfort in the aftermath of a deadly earthquake that ripped through the region yesterday. The quake was centered about 120 miles west of Arequipa on the Pacific coast. The death toll has just been revised downward to 38, although officials fear more bodies are going to be found as they continue their search for survivors. Hundreds of others were injured in the 7.9 magnitude quake.
Local officials in the southeastern Philippines have declared a state of calamity following a volcano eruption there. This will allow them to access calamity funds to take care of at least 30,000 people who were forced from their homes. The 8,000-foot volcano erupted Sunday in a spectacular display, spewing ash, debris, and rocks the size of trucks. No deaths were directly caused by the eruption, but one person died of a heart attack, and another died in a car accident during the explosions.
The sister of an American being held hostage in the southern Philippines has made an appeal over local radio stations there for the safe return of her brother. She says she hopes the rebels' claim to have beheaded Guillermo Sobero aren't true. It was on June 12th when a member of the rebel group claimed to have beheaded the hostage. But that claim still hasn't been substantiated because Sobero's body has not been found. The group is threatening to kill more hostages if the crisis there isn't resolved soon. About 20 people, including the 3 Americans, were seized from a beach resort across the Sulu Sea on May 27th and taken by speedboat to Basilan, nearly 300 miles away. The other 2 American captives are identified as Martin and Garcia Burnham, both from Wichita, Kansas.
The latest in fighter jet technology has cleared a major hurdle. Lockheed Martin has successfully tested one of its newest jets. The X-35B launches and lands vertically. The aircraft maker isn't looking to win a massive Defense Department contract. The ability to take off and land vertically is especially important to the Marines who currently use Harrier jets. Lockheed Martin says its jet is more efficient and has more lifting power than the Harrier. Each plane is expected to cost between $28 and $38 million.
The bioengineering industry is drawing both praise and protests as a trade show begins in San Diego, California. A record 15,000 people are expected to attend that conference. Backers of biotech say the industry has made progress towards such things as cures for diseases and improvements to agriculture, but that optimism is not shared by the throngs of protesters who gathered outside the event. Many of them oppose genetically modified crops, saying the long-term effects on food are not yet known.
For a week, a rather unusual zoo escape caused concern for residents of a British town. Foster the vulture took up residence on the roof of a vicarage in Reading, England. He escaped from a zoo and managed to elude his keepers. Residents locked up their animals, worried Foster would try to snack on neighborhood pets. Several days later, the African vulture was finally caught, wrapped in a blanket, and bundled off back to the zoo.
2 giant pandas loaned to Russia by China have gone on public display at the Moscow Zoo. The pandas, 1 female and 1 male, are part of a cultural exchange program between the 2 countries. Zoo officials say the guests are adapting well to their new surroundings and have already given a nickname to the female animal. At 19 years of age, she's been dubbed the old girl. Her companion, who still hasn't been named, is only 4. The pandas will stay in Moscow for 2 months and then return home to Beijing.
Locals in Germany are strapping up and hooking up at a finger wrestling contest. For some finger wrestlers, there was a short tug between winning and hurting. Competitors in 9 weight classes used leather straps to hook their middle fingers together and then pulled hard. Officials say the Bavarian town has been hosting the competition for some half a century.
Bringing back the dead, driving away bad luck, just the official reasons for Thailand's annual Ghost Festival. Today's event in a small rural district just northeast of Bangkok is one of the many colorful and lively festivals in Thailand. The locals spend weeks making spirit masks from carved coconut wood and wear them in the celebrations pretending to be ghosts. The parade attracts people from all over the world.
They're not too scary, though. They look actually kind of artsy. Creative.
Comforting ghosts.
Yeah, but if you saw one in the middle of the night coming into your bedroom, you might...
It might jump.
I think otherwise. We're human. Outside right now, boy, it is just like pea soup with the humidity. You're going to feel it. And it's already touching off some showers now that we're getting into the heating hours of this first Monday of summer. Let me show you downtown San Antonio, 86 degrees with partly cloudy skies, but it feels like 91. And we'll do better than that on the actual high. Today's forecast is going to call for partly cloudy skies, 92 or so. Southeast winds 10 to 15, keeping that humidity moving in. And we'll call it the ISO shower, kind of like the isotones. You know those nice gloves? We got some isolated showers still already roaming south of San Antonio, down I-37 in Atascosa County, right around Pleasanton. You go a little farther down towards Corpus Christi, south of Victoria. Movement on these is so hard to detect. They like to drift northwest because that's their origin from the Gulf of Mexico in off the sea breeze and onshore. So we could expect to see some touch-and-go showers, but it's going to be hard because this is a time of year where you can get rain-cooled atmospheres, and that's what we have right now from yesterday. Let me show you this weather history. This is amazing. You know, 3 weeks ago, we were talking about Allison and what she was doing to the southeast Texas coast, the costliest tropical storm in U.S. history, like billions of dollars in Houston. On this day, we were also talking about Allison in 1989, and it hit the very same spot. Now, what's amazing about this storm, it was called Cosme in the Pacific, and it crossed over Mexico, moved northeast into the Gulf, and became the first tropical storm of the '89 season. And it brought heavy flooding rains to southeast Texas and into southwest Louisiana, just like the 2001 Allison did. Not as severe because the name was not retired. That's why it came up again. Only the big storms like Andrew, Camille, you'll never see those names used again. Now, we are quiet, Caribbean and Gulf. Even out in the tropical Atlantic, things are quiet. This is the time of year where the tropical Atlantic doesn't have the conditions to produce anything. You have a few tropical waves. Like if it was August or September, those could become storms, but not now. We don't need one. I'll tell you, yesterday morning, 2.6 out at San Antonio Airport is a Sunday record. Yes, indeed. Never that much rain on June 24th in San Antonio. Today, we're about normal for the month and about a ½ inch below for the year. So not too bad. The weekend rains were perfect, just in time. Now the monsoonal flows active out to the west and the onshore sea breeze flow to the southeast can produce some touch-and-go showers. We're working off the high pressure that's over New Orleans, getting in that good southeast wind. You can see those isobars, and that really brings in the high dew points, mid-60s. Right now for us, 73 at noon. That's why it feels so oppressive out there, and that's why future radar says we're not done. We're going to see a couple more scattered showers develop. This is 5 p.m., and you can even see through the overnight those rain themselves out. Maybe tomorrow afternoon east of San Antonio towards Houston, a few showers will be found. So it's real touch and go, and these showers will typically put down about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, so it's not too bad. Nationally, the only weather feature is this front that could bring us some pretty decent chances of rain by Friday and Saturday. And look at that high, sending readings all the way up to the upper 80s at noon. Minneapolis, 87 right now in Fargo. We're not even that warm. Here in San Antonio right now, the temperature is 86. The relative humidity 55%, so that puts the feel like at 91. Expect a high of about 92 today with mostly sunny skies. An isolated shower could find you, but the chance is minimal. Overnight, we're down to about 72 and becoming cloudy towards Tuesday morning. Then tomorrow afternoon, breaking out to a partly cloudy, dry day, high of 94. If we don't get any of these isolated showers on your lawn for the first half of this week, I think a lot of us will by Friday. Chances really go up through Saturday. That'd be the 3rd Friday in a row.
So maybe hold off on the sprinkling.
Hold off, wash the car. You know, we got 2 good inches yesterday, so that was good soakers.
All
Okay.
right. Thanks, Bill. We'll be right back.
Today at 5.
They can make school miserable for your child. Kids who constantly pick on other kids. So what should you do if your child is the victim of a bully? A special KENS 5 Family First report.
Today at 5 on KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
Attention users of the drug Fen-Phen. If you used Fen-Phen, you may still be entitled to money damages from the manufacturer. Call attorney Brian Loncar now and get the facts.
I'm attorney Brian Loncar. Recently, the makers of Fen-Phen have announced an additional $7 billion to pay Fen-Phen claims. This brings the total to over $12 billion. If you use Fen-Phen, call me now.
Don't wait any longer. There is still time to be part of the now $12 billion Fen-Phen settlement. Call now.
Are you uncomfortable when you don't know there is a bathroom nearby? Maybe you have an overactive bladder, that frequent sudden urge to run to the bathroom, and perhaps you don't make it in time. You're not alone. Over 17 million Americans have overactive bladder. Doctors are conducting a research study of an investigational drug for people with this condition. If you have overactive bladder, you should learn more. There are options. Call 1-888-38-STUDY. Make the call that could make a difference.
Can you imagine our city without freeways, with no air conditioning, and not a single TV station? That's what it was like back in 1933 when Olshan leveled its first foundation. Friends, a lot has changed, but for nearly 70 years, homeowners have trusted Olshan Foundation to protect their homes. Now, with the patented cable lock technology, Olshan gives you a lifetime transferable warranty. Olshan Foundation. If you don't need us today, we'll be here tomorrow.
EyeMasters announces the $99 perfect pair. That's a complete pair of glasses for just $99. Even prescription sunglasses and kids' glasses are just $99. Perfect pair, perfect price. Now at EyeMasters.
Finally this noon, an inspirational story about a young man who defied the odds in a very courageous race.
6-year-old Garrett Rush underwent brain surgery last year. The operation left him paralyzed, blind, and mute. And yet, despite all that, Garrett never gave up. He worked hours on end in rehab, and yesterday he took part in the race of his life. Garrett joined his dad in a triathlon. He helped his father pedal uphill during the cycling phase of the race and even went along, as you saw a while ago, for the swim sprints. Garrett was able to finish the race. He and his father crossed the finish line hand in hand. That's Eyewitness News at noon.
More news coming up on Eyewitness News at 5, 6, and 10.
It's a pretty grueling race, a triathlon.
Very.
Mindy says she loved her father.
She was still Daddy's little angel.
Then something went terribly wrong.
I became afraid of her.
At 16, she shot and killed her father.
It's not a murder.
Mindy says she feared for her life.
He'd grab me by the neck and choke me. Thought he would kill me.
Is she an innocent victim?
Self-defense, pure and simple.
Or a cold-blooded killer?
I hope they see through her lies.
Daddy's Little Girl, a 48 Hours mystery, tonight.
Whether you're a dot-comma, non-comma, hot mom, whether you got a stockpile or a rock pile, your wild Texas soul is about to feel different. Every minute in your Dodge is a minute worth living.
Get a just right size Dodge Durango and take your choice of a big $2,000 cash allowance or low 1.9 financing for 60 months that can save over $5,000. Dodge Durango, different.
Different by a country mile.
You know, if we always do what we've always done, we're always going to get what we've always gotten. A lot of folks think that means a budget deficit, and that's not right. Liberals continue throwing money at problems and even support a state income tax, and that's not Texas. At the land office, we provided more services, reduced our budget, and turned money back to you. We ought to be able to do that throughout government.
David Dewhurst, a conservative leader who does what he says.
Do you have the next million-dollar idea, invention, or perhaps an improvement to an existing product and just don't know how to get started? Do you believe your idea or invention has merit and fulfills a need? Do you think a manufacturer would want to produce and market your product and pay you royalties? If the answer is yes, call the professionals at Universal Consulting Service for your free Inventor's Information Kit. They can help. Call now.
Do you need glasses? Perfect, because right now, EyeMasters is offering the $99 perfect pair. The perfect pair of glasses for you, complete with frame and single vision lenses for just $99. Prescription sunglasses, $99. Kids glasses with scratch and impact resistant lenses and a 1-year breakage warranty? You guessed it, $99. The perfect pair of glasses at the perfect price, just $99. So hurry in to EyeMasters.
Joe Reinagel, only on KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
This year, Big Brother 2 starts Thursday, July 5th on CBS.